Close your eyes for a second.
Just for 1 second.
What do you hear right now?
Maybe you hear cars driving by or a loud train.
Maybe people are talking loudly on their phones.
The world is so loud, isn't it?
It really is. We wake up to a loud alarm clock.
We rush to work or school. We check our phones constantly.
And learning English, sometimes that feels like just another loud task.
Exactly. You have to memorize rules. You have to pass tests.
Noise is like a heavy backpack. We carry it everywhere.
It really does. But today, we want to help you take that backpack off.
Welcome to the Daily Spark Radio. I'm James.
And I'm Sophie. Today, we are not in a classroom.
No whiteboards, no grammar tests.
Today, we are going on a journey together.
We want to take you somewhere quiet.
Somewhere where the water is perfectly still.
Because English is not just about passing exams.
Right, it's about feeling connected to the world.
It's about finding out how to express your quietest thoughts.
If you are feeling stressed today, we see you.
We know how hard it is to slow down.
But for the next 20 minutes, you don't have to rush.
You can just listen. You can just breathe.
We are going to step away from the noise.
We'll leave the city behind us.
And we will look for a moment of true peace.
Imagine this time as a tiny vacation for your mind.
A vacation you can take right now, wherever you are. Think of your mind like water in a bottle. Oh, I love that metaphor.
When we are busy, we shake the bottle.
The water gets cloudy. We can't see clearly.
But if we just set the bottle down on a table,
the water settles. It becomes perfectly clear again.
That is what we are doing today. We are letting the water settle.
To find this clear water, we are going to China.
To a famous city called Hangzhou. Have you been there, Sophie?
I haven't, but I have read so many poems about it.
It is a fascinating place. It's a huge modern city.
Millions of people live there. It is incredibly busy.
The streets are full of cars and bright neon lights.
We have a great word for this kind of place: bustling.
Ah, bustling. Let's talk about how that word actually feels.
When you say a city is bustling, it sounds alive.
Right. It isn't a negative word. It isn't just noisy.
Exactly. A bustling street has really good energy.
It feels like a heartbeat. People are buying hot coffee.
Friends are laughing together. Small shops are opening for the day.
It is full of life, but it can also be very tiring.
Sometimes you just need to step away from the bustling streets.
And in Hangzhou, you can do exactly that.
Right in the middle of the city, there's a giant lake.
It is called West Lake, and it feels completely magical.
Imagine walking down a busy, loud pavement.
The city traffic is humming right behind your back.
But then you turn a quiet corner.
You step through a thick line of weeping willow trees.
Their green branches hang down like soft curtains.
They brush against the surface of the dark water.
And suddenly, the bustling city feels a million miles away.
You look out and you see misty green hills in the distance.
The sky above you is a soft watercolor gray.
At the edge of the water, there's a small wooden boat.
It is waiting just for you.
Stepping onto a small boat is always a strange feeling, isn't it? It really is. You have to leave the solid ground behind.
Your foot touches the wood and the boat wobbles a little.
Yes, you always have to catch your balance for a second.
It is a physical change. You are leaving the stable, fast world.
And you are entering a slow, floating world.
The wood of the boat seat looks old and weathered.
It has carried thousands of people who are looking for peace.
And today, it is going to carry us.
We are going to push away from the noisy shore.
We are going to find out what happens when the noise finally stops.
The sidewalk burns beneath our shoes.
The summer sun beats down on the gray pavement.
Shoppers carry heavy bags. Tourists shout to their friends.
The heat makes the air shimmer and dance.
You can feel the tension in your shoulders.
Your jaw is tight. Your mind is racing.
We turn right, escaping the crowded main road.
We slip through a round stone archway.
It is called a moon gate.
Stepping through it feels like entering another time.
Suddenly, the harsh sunlight disappears completely.
We are standing under a dark green canopy.
Giant weeping willow trees line the water's edge.
Their long, thin leaves trail into the lake.
A narrow stone path leads down to the water.
Step by step, the city sounds grow weaker.
The angry buzzing of mopeds fades away.
The heavy smell of exhaust vanishes too.
We reach the damp, shaded wooden dock.
The air here smells like rich, wet earth.
And sweet, blooming osmanthus flowers.
A small, traditional wooden boat waits for us.
It is just big enough for 3 people.
The old boatman wears a faded blue shirt.
A wide bamboo hat shadows his eyes.
His hands are brown and rough from hard work.
He does not yell over the city noise.
He just gives us a slow, quiet nod.
He gestures toward the empty wooden benches.
I step over the dark gap of water. My shoe touches the worn, wet floorboards.
My boat dips sharply under my weight.
It tips slightly to the left. I throw my arms out to catch my balance.
The boat rocks gently from side to side.
That gentle movement is a sway.
And feeling that sway isn't just emotion. It changes your mind.
Your brain realizes the ground is no longer solid.
The rigid concrete of the city is gone.
Now, everything beneath you is fluid.
We sit down carefully on the smooth seats.
The polished wood feels cool against my hands.
The boatman unties a thick green rope.
He tosses it onto the dock.
It lands with a dull, wet smack.
Then he picks up his single long oar.
There is no noisy engine. There's no motor.
Just pure, quiet human effort.
He pushes the oar against the stone wall.
We slowly drift away from the edge.
The dock gets smaller and smaller.
The water parts around the front of the boat.
It makes a gentle, rhythmic slosh.
We glide out from under the willow trees.
The wide expanse of West Lake opens up.
The water is a deep, glassy green.
A thin white mist floats just above the surface.
It wraps around the distant green mountains.
Can you imagine that incredible shift?
Leaving the heavy burden of the city entirely behind.
Trading honking horns for the sound of dripping water.
The boatman sweeps the long oar through the lake.
Swish. Swish.
The slow rhythm is completely hypnotic.
It actually slows down your own heartbeat.
The tall glass buildings still stand on the shore.
But they look like a distant, chaotic world now.
A world that simply cannot reach us here.
We are swallowed by the soft white mist.
The sharp lines between water and sky disappear.
It feels like floating through a dream.
Or a living, breathing ink painting.
The old boatman stands quietly at the back.
He holds a very long, dark wooden oar.
He pushes it deeply into the water.
Creak, splash. The sound is incredibly steady.
It is deeply rhythmic.
Rhythmic, you feel the steady beat in your chest.
One heavy push, then a slow, smooth glide.
Another push. The water ripples outward.
Look back at the distant shore.
The tall modern buildings look like ghosts now.
The angry traffic is just a quiet hum.
It gets quieter with every push of the oar.
And then, for a second, the noise completely fades.
It simply vanishes into the thick air.
Think about that for a second.
Millions of people are rushing around over there.
Answering stressful emails, running for crowded buses.
But out here, time simply stops moving. A cool breeze sweeps across the open lake.
It carries the fresh, sharp smell of rain.
And the sweet, earthy scent of wet leaves.
The air feels heavy, but surprisingly clean.
It leaves tiny drops of moisture on your skin.
I lean over the side of the small boat.
The curved wood is smooth and damp.
I trail my fingers in the dark green water.
It is cold, deliciously cold.
The sudden chill shoots right up your arm.
It wakes you up deep inside.
Ahead of us, the heavy mist begins to part.
Very slowly, like a heavy theater curtain opening.
Huge, dark shadows appear in the distance.
The famous ancient mountains of Hangzhou.
They are not sharp or perfectly clear.
No, they are just soft, blurry silhouettes.
Dark gray shapes against a pale white sky.
They look like ancient sleeping giants.
They are guarding this quiet, hidden world.
A single white bird flies low over the lake.
Its wide wings barely touch the glassy surface.
It doesn't make a single sound.
Whisper. The silence here is absolutely huge.
It is a deep, heavy kind of stillness.
Tranquil isn't just a fancy vocabulary word here.
Exactly. You actually feel it deep in your bones.
Your tight, stressed shoulders finally drop down.
You take a real, deep breath.
Maybe the first real breath all day.
Creak. Splash. The long wooden oar dips again. The small boat gently rocks from side to side,
It feels exactly like a wooden cradle.
rocking us slowly into absolute peace.
We drift past a wide patch of lotus flowers.
Huge, round green leaves float flat on the water.
Tiny, perfect drops of water sit on the leaves.
They catch the weak, gray morning light.
They shine beautifully like little scattered diamonds.
The boat slides right through the green patch.
The thick leaves brush against the wooden hull.
A soft, gentle brushing sound. Swish, swish.
We pass under the shadow of a stone bridge.
The air under the archway is suddenly much cooler.
Water drips slowly from the old mossy stones.
Drip, plop. The echoes bounce off the water.
Then we emerge back into the soft, misty light.
The lake seems to stretch out forever now.
There are no hard edges anymore.
Just endless water meeting the endless sky.
I close my eyes just for a moment.
The afternoon sun tries to peek through the mist.
It feels gently warm on the top of my head.
A perfect balance of cool water and warm light.
Shh. I never want to leave this little boat.
Neither do I, James.
It is a perfect, completely untouched moment.
A secret, silent pocket of the world.
The boat glides further out. We reach the exact center of West Lake.
The water here is deep. It looks like dark, liquid jade. Look up at the sky. The bright light is softening.
A thin blanket of clouds rolls over us. It is a pale, pearly gray.
The air shifts. A sudden cool breeze brushes past us.
Wait, did you feel that?
Feel what?
On my hand. A tiny cold drop of water.
Oh, yes. One just landed right on my nose.
It is starting to rain.
Just a drizzle, a very soft, gentle drizzle.
Drizzle. What a beautiful word for this.
It isn't a storm. It doesn't crash or shout. It just whispers.
The surface of the lake transforms. It is pure magic.
Thousands of tiny circles appear. They dance across the water.
Listen to that sound.
It sounds like soft static, like a quiet, gentle shushing.
The water is meeting the water. It is incredibly peaceful.
The old boatman pulls his oar out. He lays it down.
He lets the boat just drift. He knows we need this.
The distant shores disappear. The trees vanish behind a white curtain.
A thick, soft mist rises from the lake's surface.
The horizon line is completely gone,
You cannot see where the lake ends.
and you cannot see where the sky begins.
They blend together perfectly.
The sky and the water are one single thing now.
We are floating in an endless, pale gray room.
A room without walls, without a ceiling, without a floor.
Think about that. Can you imagine floating in pure nothingness?
It feels profound. It's a deep, heavy kind of peace.
Profound. Yes, it reaches right into the bottom of your chest. Your heartbeat slows. It matches the rhythm of the rain.
The wooden boat rocks, just a tiny, gentle sway.
It's like a cradle, rocking us gently.
I tip my head back. I let the drops hit my face.
The cool rain washes away the summer heat.
It washes away the noise in your mind, too.
The smell of the lake is completely different now.
It is so fresh. It smells like wet stones and clean air.
And a hint of sweet lotus flowers.
Look at those large, flat lotus leaves near the boat.
They catch the raindrops. They hold them like little green bowls.
The water pools inside them. It shines like pure liquid glass.
When the leaf gets too heavy, it tips over. Splash! The water pours back into the lake.
Then the leaf bounces back up, ready to catch more rain.
It is a beautiful, endless cycle.
There are no other boats around us. We are entirely alone.
Just two travelers, one silent boatman, and the gray universe.
The stillness here is not just quiet, it is absolute.
You feel totally disconnected from the modern world.
No emails, no traffic lights, no urgent messages.
They do not exist out here. Only the silver drizzle exists.
You become part of a classic Chinese ink painting.
Just a few simple strokes of black and gray.
It makes you feel very small, but in a good way.
You realize the world is so vast and so incredibly calm.
I want to bottle this silence. I want to take it home.
Whenever I feel stressed, I will remember this exact view.
The silver rain, the fading horizon, the profound stillness.
The old boatman slowly shifts his weight. He turns the long, dark wooden oar in his hands. The front of the boat gently swings around.
We are heading back. The magic bubble is moving.
We're drifting slowly toward the busy, crowded shore.
I honestly want to ask him to stop right here.
I want to stay in this misty center forever.
But every peaceful journey must eventually come to an end. We have to return to the loud, real world.
Slowly, the dark shapes in the distance grow much sharper. The tall, modern buildings of Hangzhou finally appear.
They push through the thick, cool evening fog. They look like giant, silent shadows at first glance.
Then, little points of yellow light begin to flicker. The city's streetlights are turning on one by one.
Red neon signs glow softly in the damp evening air. The visual world is rapidly waking up again.
and the frantic city sounds are returning to our ears. At first, it is just a very low, distant hum.
It sounds exactly like a distant hive of angry bees. Then, a loud car horn suddenly honks in the distance.
That sharp noise cuts right through the quiet, heavy air. A large public bus rumbles down a nearby avenue.
Can you imagine that specific feeling right now? Leaving perfect silence and hearing the city roar again?
Normally, that sudden noise feels incredibly heavy and stressful. Normally, it makes your tired shoulders tense up immediately.
But right now, it actually feels completely different. The loud noise simply cannot touch you at all.
You have an invisible shield of calmness wrapped around you. The wooden boat gently bumps against the wet stone dock.
We finally arrived back at the busy edge. The old boatman ties a thick, wet rope to a post.
He nods at us, a very quiet, respectful goodbye. We stand up slowly. Our stiff legs feel slightly weak.
We carefully step off the small, rocking wooden boat. Our shoes touch the hard, solid stone path once again.
Instantly, the fast modern world wraps tightly around us. Busy people brush past our shoulders on the crowded sidewalk.
They are staring blankly down at brightly lit phone screens. Delivery scooters buzz loudly down the narrow, dark alleyways.
Loud pop music blasts from an open cafe door nearby. The entire city is vibrating and moving at top speed.
Everyone is rushing blindly to their next important destination. But we are walking very, very slowly through the crowd.
We are not rushing to be anywhere anymore. We carry a beautiful, quiet secret inside us now. We carry that profound stillness from the open, misty water.
It acts exactly like a heavy, quiet iron anchor.
That strong anchor drops deep into our racing, anxious minds. An anchor keeps a huge ship from drifting away helplessly.
This inner peace keeps us totally grounded in the chaos. The impatient cars honk, the bright streetlights flash wildly.
The large, noisy crowd pushes and shoves past us constantly. But deep inside, we are still floating on perfectly still water.
We take one final look over our tired shoulders. The massive lake is completely dark and empty now.
The little wooden boat disappears into the thick evening mist. But its calming, peaceful memory stays right here with us.
We turn our faces back toward the bright city streets. We take a deep, long breath of the cool air, neon light. We are completely ready for whenever heavy challenges come next. And just like that, the story of Westlake settles quietly into our memory. A little piece of that calm water stays with us wherever we go. The mist may fade, but the feeling never really leaves. It is always there, waiting, like a friend sitting quietly beside you.
Coming back to the shore is always hard.
It is. Your foot touches the hard pavement again.
The solid ground feels a bit strange after floating for so long.
And the noise of the city comes rushing right back to you.
The cars, the loud voices, the bustling streets.
But something is different now, isn't it?
Yes, you are different.
Exactly. The peace isn't just out there on the middle of the lake.
You brought a tiny piece of it back with you.
I think that is the real magic of spending time in nature.
True peace isn't just an empty, quiet room with no sound.
No. True peace is a quiet space you build inside yourself.
It's like a secret pocket you can always reach into.
You can carry that stillness anywhere, even on a crowded, noisy train.
When the world gets too loud, you can just close your eyes.
You can remember the cool breeze, the slow wooden oars.
And you can find that quiet center again whenever you need it. Let's look back at the words that brought our Westlake journey to life.
So we described the fading hum of city traffic and sitting in absolute silence as a soft rain begins to fall.
You might have heard us say stillness,
It is that magical pause.
like when you stand alone in a quiet, empty room.
Use it tomorrow. I enjoy the stillness of the house before my kids wake up.
Exactly. Now, the opposite of that is bustling.
Oh,
You heard us use this for the city,
it's full of fast, noisy energy.
like a busy train station on a Monday morning.
Use it tomorrow. The bustling night market was full of amazing food.
Then we stepped onto the boat and saw a ripple.
Imagine dropping a tiny pebble into a calm pool. Those little rings of water spreading outward, that gentle, quiet movement is a ripple. It feels like the water is whispering. Use it tomorrow. The wind caused a gentle ripple across the pond.
That sound is so relaxing.
Which brings us to tranquil.
Oh, you heard us say this about the misty hills.
It means deeply, perfectly calm.
No stress at all.
Use it tomorrow. My grandmother's garden is a very tranquil place to read. As we end our journey today, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for stepping onto the wooden boat with us. Thank you for letting the water in your mind settle. We know your real life is probably very busy right now. You might have a long to-do list waiting for you. You might have dishes to wash or difficult emails to send. But we hope you carry this tranquil feeling into your day. You don't need a famous lake to find stillness, you know? You can find out how to make your own Westlake moment. It could be drinking your morning tea in complete silence. It could be looking at the clouds for just 1 minute. Small minutes are like coins in your pocket. If you collect enough quiet minutes, you buy a peaceful day. I love that so much. I try to find my quiet moment at night. That sounds perfect. What does that look like for you? Right before bed, I turn off absolutely all the lights. And you just sit in the dark? Just sit. I listen to the wind outside my window. That sounds wonderful. My boat is my morning coffee. Oh, before anyone else in the house wakes up? Yes, just me, the hot mug, and the early sunrise. We would love to hear from all of you listening. Where is your quiet space? Tell us in the comments. Where do you find your stillness? Even in a bustling city, we can all find a small boat. English is easy when we learn it together. It's not about rules, it's about feeling the world. Next time on the Daily Spark, we are changing the weather. We are going to explore a feeling that is completely different. Imagine the sharp smell of rain hitting hot pavement. And the sudden, wild urge to run as fast as you can.
But until then, stay curious.
Stay tranquil. This is the Daily Spark Radio.
See you next time.